Hello, everyone. My name is M Teresa Lawrence, and this is our weekly Flutterverse update leading up to our epic June 29th Butterfly March. And today we have a special guest with us. Don Green, the head of the Napoleon Hill Foundation, is with us. He has graciously joined us, and I want to share with you a few things about Don Green. I met Don Green the day after going to my mom's funeral. I was not in a good space. I was in the sads, as they say, and I was not myself. And this man was so kind to me and so generous. And everything that I have done since meeting him came from one simple act of kindness when he wrote me a message about a little book I wanted to publish. This book, Gloriousness, I sent it to him, and he sent me a message, and he said, "This is a fine little book. The world needs fine little books." And that started a cascading butterfly effect, which has led us here. One act of kindness can change the world, and I am deeply grateful that Don Green gave me a vision of myself that I couldn't possibly have at that time because I was in grief. It is perfectly normal to go through grief, and it is wonderful when somebody sees beyond what you're portraying in the moment to see who you could be. And I thank Don Green for seeing that in me. And with that, I welcome him to the weekly Flutterverse update.
Hey, good morning, Teresa. You're
Good.
very you're just very kind is all I can say. If I had to describe you, I'd say a kind person, very kind. Uh, you wanted me to talk a little bit about the Napoleon Hill Foundation. Of course, you can tell by looking on the screen. I'll be 84 years old my birthday, but I don't work. I I I do things to try to make it a better world. I was a bank president 18 years, so I don't need to work for the monetary bit other than a chance to help people. Because as I've told you before, there's a 3 by 5 card, lest I forget, on my breakfast table. It says very simple: God, show me someone I can help today. In Jesus' name, amen. And I asked myself at the end of the day, have I done every act of kindness? And if I can't think of something other, I'll just flip open somebody's name and I'll pull a book out and I'll write a note in it and I'll stick it out in the mail. And probably a few times a week, it never fails that I'll have a request from someone in prison. I'm not judging them. I don't know whether they're in there for drugs or what they are, but I always think there's a hope as long as a person's alive, they can always change. And if the past is the past, and what's ahead of us is what's important, and we can make a difference. I've talked to you before, and other people is I thought growing up, because my dad was a coal miner, and we didn't have a bathroom in the house till I was in high school, and we didn't have running water. We had to carry it from a spring. But I learned hard work and the things I learned from my parents about hard work and honesty and helping other people, and it was instilled into me at an early age. And I know in the beginning I worked real hard. I learned to make money, uh, and I thought those things that you buy with money. I'm talking about the black Mercedes, the gold Rolexes, money in the bank, the fine clothes, and so forth. I thought them was is what it was all about. But it took me a while to understand all those things are nice. There's nothing wrong with them, but they're pleasures in life. They're pleasures. The car, the food, the travel, them are pleasures as far as I'm concerned. Happiness is helping someone else. And as long as we can think in just of ourselves what we can get and get and get, some point in life we'll be singing Peggy Lee's song, "Is This All There Is?" I spoke at a event in Malaysia right after the tsunami that killed 250 some thousand people it was a fundraising thing, and we were over there shortly thereafter. And I don't remember whether the guy was a psychiatrist or a psychologist, but anyway, we had a good conversation. And he said, one of the conversations he said was with a man. Someone walked up to the gentleman and said, and called him by his name, said, "I understand you lost everything you had." "Oh, no," he said, "I didn't lose my family." He lost his house and all his possessions. But he also told me something else, which I still remember. He said in all of his lines of work, he had never treated anyone for depression that was heavily involved in making a difference in other people's lives. Because while our mind's complicated, it's also simple. It cannot hold good thoughts and bad thoughts at the same time. It might bounce back and forth between the positive and negatives. So if you have negative thoughts, all you got to be is involved. I saw a little clipping one time from a lady in Unicoi, Tennessee, and I go through there sometime to my daughter's got a place in South Carolina, and basically it's a farming area. But this lady, was a clipping of her. She was elderly, had on a bonnet, and she just made a statement. She said, "When I start to worry, I go out in my garden and hoe my garden." So what she's saying is, without realizing it probably, she can't worry when she's hoeing. In other words, she transfers her worrying bit to her garden, which is productive. And that's not that difficult to do. We can transfer our thoughts to helping someone else. And I assure you, we'll bring happiness to someone else. It'll bring happiness to us, because I think that's what we're here for, to enjoy each other, enjoy nature and what the good Lord has provided for us. And it's just that simple to me is. And I don't do it to boast or anything. I would tell you, because it would not just someone just to say it's boasting. But just last Saturday, I was, I do the little birdhouses and fill up books.
Yes.
And my younger brother, who's only 81, we took a little trip through a couple of little small towns, poverty-stricken areas, really, all close to the Kentucky line. And I keep my car with books in it, and we stopped and filled up the 2 books. And then we drove to, or he was driving my car, to a place called Pikeville, Kentucky, which is about less than an hour from here. And we eat at a Texas Roadhouse. And they kind of know us. They don't take reservations, but I've been there several times, and I guess I'm kind to them. And I'll ask for someone, and they'll save us a seat. And this particular Saturday, this lady waited on us. Usually the kid or young people. They're high school, college kids making a little few bucks or whatever. But this case, I won't say she was an elderly lady, but she just didn't seem to fit as a waitress into what we normally used to. If I was guessing, I would say she was probably in her 60s. And I don't know what it was, but anyway, Danny and I ate, and we paid for the bill on the they had a little thing on the desk on the eating table. And I told Danny, I said, I gave you my card. I said, pay for that, but don't put no tip on it. I don't know. Something just told me. And the lady come back and said, do we need anything else? And how was the service? And how was the food and so forth? And I said, I paid for it, but I didn't put a tip on it. I'll just give it to you in cash. And I hand her $100 bill. She said, "Oh no, you can't do that." I said, "Oh yeah, I want you to have it." And then she went on to tell us that the reason she's having to work, her husband was an underground coal miner for 28 years, and he got seriously injured. He couldn't pass a physical, but he got a job as a federal prison, which wasn't as strenuous. But at present, he had developed what's known as black lung from breathing the coal dust, and he was waiting for a double lung transplant. So I don't know, a voice, someone just said to me, help this lady out. And so, uh, I hope it did. I probably should have given her more, but someone just said
Mhm.
to, cause we never know when a person waits on you. I don't know where they're trying to go to school, where they've divorced the kids at home. I'm not making those assumptions. I'm not the judge, but sometimes something just says to us, "Here's your chance." And if I have a chance to do a slight favor like that, and I don't, I'm the one that's cheated. I cheated myself from not helping
Well,
someone.
Don, today's Flutterverse update is all about prayer and the importance of moving us forward. And you're talking about having a voice from the divine guide you in helping people, and how you pray each day, who are you going to help today? And I think that that's beautiful. And then behind you, I just want to mention, do I have it? Yes, I have mine too. I have my Napoleon Hill Think and Grow Rich, and I have people that I mentor that are here that I I send Think and Grow Rich to everyone. That is like one of the staples. It is one of the books that I require everybody that I mentor to read, and and it is beautiful. And Emmanuel is on here, and he'll speak later, uh, but he has certainly benefited from that. Um, but Don, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart from being here. Jessa Carter is also here, and we have the president of my Kenya team, Dominic Obadiah, and he has to go. So with your permission, I'm going to pull you off for a second, pull Dominic up for a few seconds, and then he's going to disappear. And then I'm going to have both you and Jessa up to have a discussion for just a second. So let me pull you off for 1 second. And let's see. Let's see if I can do this. Yes. Okay. So Dominic, I know you have to run, so I'm gonna have everybody do a a Kenyan update from our president of the Kenyan team. Welcome, Dominic. I'm gonna give you the stage.
Thank you, Madam President. My name is Ambassador Dominic. I'm the Kenyan president for the Trueness Project, and I'm really excited for this opportunity to serve. Uh, Last week, I was able to reach out to so many leaders, trying to coordinate and speak and spread the message of the Trueness Project. Last week on Monday, I had a chance to meet with the World Scout Parliamentary Union, which brings together members of parliament in this country. And my message to them was about peace and reconciliation, and also trying to raise young leaders, transformational leaders. Then I told them about the importance of the butterfly, how it is able to transform itself from an ugly thing to a beautiful thing. So we can make it happen. We can also use the energy we have, vibrational energy in us. We can also use the power of prayer to be able to bring peace. And yesterday, I had a chance to speak with the Samburu community. The Samburu community are cousins to the Maasai community. It's one of the cultural communities in the world. So I had a chance to be invited to speak virtually on the importance of promoting peace in our young leaders. So it was more than 600 young people that had gathered. They invited me to speak as a leader, and I emphasized on the peace that we have to spread through the Trueness Project. And the idea is being bought. And right now, I'm going into another meeting with senior members of this country, and I hope to promote peace as well.
Thank you, Dominic, for the Kenyan update. I know you have to go. Thank you so much for joining us for this week's Flutterverse update. All right, enjoy the meeting and please share the goodness.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
bye-bye. And with that, I'm going to invite Jessa Carter onto the screen. And then I'm going to, wait, did Don leave? No, Don's still here. And then I'm going to have her have a fabulous discussion with Don Green. For those of you who don't know, Jessa Carter she is leading the non-denominational prayer for peace from Jackson. It is going to be epic. No matter what happens, the point of spreading peace and love around the planet starts in Jackson, Wyoming, and Jessa is our point person. So with that, I invite Jessa onto the screen, onto the update.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome. So before we invite Don back on for you guys to have a peaceful billionaire Napoleon Hill Foundation talk just for a little bit to get more stuff out of Don because he is priceless. I want you to share what you're up to and and your thoughts about coming to Jackson.
Well, what I've been up to is working with some clients on a new session that I'm doing to attune your mind and body for maximum peace, passion, and profits. So I do something called a P3 mind body attunement. And so that's something that I've been working on and doing with clients recently. That's been really beautiful and really powerful. But I'm beyond excited to come to Jackson and to lead the non-denominational prayer. I just, life is such a mix of, really beautiful and extraordinary things and, sometimes really sad and really hard things. And, it is through love and prayer and peace and connection and community that we can rise above and support each other in lifting each other up and moving forward and getting through those challenging times in a far more gentle and kind way, right? When you have that love and support, when you're surrounding yourself with people who are like-minded, who are raising the vibration of the planet, who are out doing good in the world. Like when you surround yourself with those people, the ripple effect of that is quite profound. So you have this mix of things. I found out from a friend who lives in Africa that they were robbed. They're professional there in a company, been there for many, many years. And this is the first incident of anything happening like that. And, that's very scary. And then at the same time, you have Don here tipping the waitress $100. I was just with a friend yesterday, enjoying some sunshine in Central Park, and she's been traveling around the US. She's from out of the country and traveling around the US and went to dinner and at a kind of a fancy restaurant where her check was a few $100s, and she tipped her server the entire check. So she gave the gentleman like $300. He didn't know what to say to her, and so there's all these different ways. And the one thing that I always like to point out is that, giving back and contribution, it doesn't have to be monetary. Giving your time, just smiling at someone on the street, complimenting someone, that's enough to raise someone's day and to literally change someone's day. You can have that much of a profound impact on someone's day with a simple smile, a simple compliment, and it doesn't cost you anything to do that.
Oh, thank you. That is just beautiful. So let's bring Don back on the stage. So this is a special mix. And I'm going to ask Jessa to, yes, we love you, Don. I'm going to ask Jessa to ask you a few questions about the Napoleon Hill Foundation and what you do around the world, because I am so into teaching Think and Grow Rich, the principles behind it in leadership, because they're not taught anywhere in the school system. And you make such a difference in the world. And it's such a joy to have you here. So in the short time we have, let's see if Jessa can ask you just a few questions.
Well, I have my books here too. So I have my book, The Peaceful Millionaire, here. I have my copy of Think and Grow Rich, of course, here handy. And the Think and Grow Rich has been such a game changer and one of those foundational pieces for me. And Don and I share something special. So before I start to ask Don some questions, first of all, hi Don. I'm so grateful to be here with you today and excited to see you. It's been a minute. But Don and I share something very special. So where the Napoleon Hill Foundation is located in Virginia, is actually where I grew up. And so I was born in Virginia, about an hour away from where Napoleon Hill was born. I grew up in a town just about 20 minutes away from where the Napoleon Hill Foundation is located. And my father was a coal miner also. So just some fun little facts there. So Don and I share a beautiful connection there. And I know that the Napoleon Hill Foundation is doing some beautiful things as far as getting Napoleon Hill's work and books into not just out into the world here, not into the U.S., but out into other countries. Don, I'm curious what updates you might have about getting the work out in other countries.
Well, to start off with, we have much more than 500 foreign publishers. In Russia alone, and the reason I say Russia, one of our trustees is the grandson of Napoleon Hill. His name is Dr. J.V. Hill. He adopted 2 children from Russia. Of course, they're grown now, but he asked me, well, one's in college and one just got out. But he asked me how many publishers that we had in Russia alone. And this was some time back. I'm sure it's more. We had 42 different publishers just in Russia. And every day we have something in the relations with foreign. For example, tooting my own horn, but I did a book called Millionaire Vision, and it'll be released August the 8th. And of course, once it goes online as a pre-order, we can start selling the rights. We maintain the foreign rights and handle those ourselves. And so yesterday we licensed it in Russia. And the day before, I believe it was Poland. But we have contacts every day with them, and in some form, royalties, inquiries every day. And I mean, we published our books in little places like Ukraine. I mean, you know, with all that's going on, I wouldn't think, well, books you wouldn't be worried about, but with all the trouble they have. But the book we licensed was Outwitting the Devil. You know, I'm not reading nothing into that, but it's in more than 60 some different languages. It's been unbelievable. And the fact is that you're holding up Russell Brunson's book, and it's in my background. He tells me that's his favorite Napoleon Hill book is Outwitting the Devil. And so it deals with one word, FEAR. And because that's what holds everybody back. It's thank you, Teresa. It's the fear of fear. He defined fear of poverty as number one. And you know, when he wrote Think and Grow Rich, we reproduced the original. I wanted people to have what the original looked like. And the original had, for men and women who resent poverty, is written in 1937 when unemployment was running 15 to 20%, something like that. And the book sold for $2.50, and it sold out in a matter of weeks when people got to read it, and they paid $2.50 for it, $2.50. At $2.50 equates today, because I looked it up, I was doing some writing, it would be $52 for that book. Same as $50.
Wow.
And it was printed. It sold 5,000 copies without ClickFunnels and Russell, promotions or the internet, whatever. But it was printed again, 10,000 copies, 5 in March, 10,000 in May. It sold out. And in August, they printed 20,000 copies. So that was 3 printings in 1 year because it resonated with people. You know, a lot of people says, well, it's not about money. Yeah, it was. It was about money, because that's the reason I returned to the original cover, for men and women who resent poverty. It was about that. But of course, as he went along, we're doing a program next Thursday, Friday, Saturday in New York City, Napoleon Hill Institute, and I'm going up. But we're doing Think and Grow Rich with Peace of Mind. Peace of Mind was the last book he wrote, and his views changed because he was around so many people that acquired riches, yet they weren't what we would define as happy. And so he wrote the book, Grow Rich with Peace of Mind. You can have money, but you can have peace of mind if you do the right things. Money is just a tool, and we can use it in many different manners.
So I want to segue back to Jessa. So her book, The Peaceful Millionaire, adds the peace. It's like a perfect segue. It's beautiful. Um, I want to thank you both for being here. Our updates are only half an hour, and they're designed that way because we have lots to go through. I have such silliness to share. If you guys want to hang out and listen to the silliness, you can. But just to, well, I'll share that in a second. But before I let you go, I am deeply grateful for both of you for joining me. Don, your one act of kindness has changed my life and changed the world because we are going global. The Trueness Project is going to help so many people around the world, and it started with you and the Napoleon Hill Foundation and Think and Grow Rich. And I'm going to share that book and that philosophy throughout the world. And Jessa, you are a true gift. I'm so excited to have you here in Jackson. I have your illuminated butterfly outfit ready to roll for book launch. And Don, you are just you single-handedly brought back the butterfly scarf. If you guys did not see Don dressed up as a butterfly, I'm going to post it again. It is lovely, it is beautiful, and it is joyous to have you as part of Team Trueness. So thank you very much for
You're,
being a part of this.
you're both a very kind. Can a question? I'm not a tech person, but can we share this?
Of course, we can share this. I'll send you I'll send you the whole live stream. I mean, I'll send you a link that has the whole thing on it. But this was
Okay, that
phenomenal.
we'll put it out.
All right, thank you.
Thank you both.
Don, it's a pleasure to see you. And you were looking dapper in that butterfly get up, but you always look very dapper. I have a photo with Don, and Don's always very dapper.
Yes, he is. All right, thank you. All right, so Jess, I'm going to remove you.
Okay.
And then the last person I want to bring up is Emmanuel because he has read Think and Grow Rich, and he is one of my fabulous ambassadors in Kenya. So Emmanuel, this sometimes work, this sometimes doesn't work. If you could give your brief update as to what you're up to, and then I will share the silly awesomeness from Jackson. Wait, Emmanuel has disappeared from the screen. He has. Okay. Well, that's what happens in Kenya. Sometimes they have internet, sometimes they don't. So this is Jackson is exploding with, oh, he's back. Hold on. There he is. Okay, he's back. We have Emmanuel back, so let's bring him on for a brief update. Everyone, this is Emmanuel. So Emmanuel, I'm going to go off screen. Introduce yourself. Introduce what you're doing. Oh, you're wearing a Trueness Project sweatshirt. Snaps for you, young man. All right, let me get off. All right.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Emmanuel from Kenya, and I'm the Trueness Project ambassador here in Kenya. And M Teresa is my coach, and she has been helping me a lot when it comes to mother's financial literacy and leadership. Because I'm a young leader, I've been serving as the university president in Kisii University, leading over 25,000 students, and it has been pleasure serving as a young person. And as well, M. Teresa saw that potential in me and gave me a responsibility that to be the Trueness Project ambassador, and I'm so much glad for that. And of course, I want to thank everyone who is cooperating and coming to be part of us on 29th. As you can see that I'm already branded that the Grand Butterfly 29th June, whereby we will be gathering. On that day, we will have a youth mentorship in Talek, Masai Mara, where we will have over 500 youths who will also join the gathering and the prayer event. And I know it will be a very, very big event. And all over the world, we are mobilizing people here in Kenya so that they can join and as well pray with us and showcase that indeed butterflies undergo a lot of transformation and all of us are beautiful, just the way butterflies are. And I
Well,
welcome everyone to be part and parcel of this. And we love you as the Trueness Project team. We love you so much and we honor you. Thank you so much, M Teresa, for this opportunity.
Emmanuel, you are a gift to this world. I want to share with you, Don, that Emmanuel read Think and Grow Rich, not once, not twice. He's on his third round. He formed his own mastermind group, and he is saving 10% of his income every month. And it all started with that book and the whole mentoring program. Financial literacy training works, leadership training works. These books are worth reading. So thank you, Emmanuel. Until next week. Bye-bye, love.
Thank you.
Okay, so now I want to give my silly updates from Jackson. First off, the Trueness Project has made it into the Jackson Hole Explorer. We have our own ad in there about the butterfly event, and this magazine goes into every visitor from Jackson. It is in every hotel room, it is at the visitor center, it is everywhere. And I joined the nonprofit listserv and the Chamber of Commerce, and I'm speaking at the Rotary next Tuesday, and I've asked for all sorts of volunteers. And so now the most coveted volunteer spot, you guys are just going to laugh. So I have a QR code for donations, and the people wearing this will be asking for donations. The people dressed up as caterpillars will be running around the event, and everybody wants to be a caterpillar. My phone does not stop ringing. I know it's a butterfly event, but everybody wants to dress up as a butterfly. I mean, as a caterpillar. Other things that are going on, we have our official face painting. We have temporary tattoos, rock painting, and what else is going on at the event? We have gotten, oh yes, and we have the dance floor all set up, and we have bubble machines, and Jackson is just getting really, really excited about the event. And I'm a very competitive person, and the requirements for the world record say that arms, torso, and legs must match. And so I went online and I bought as many bulk long johns as I could, because that is the dress to impress. It's the world record standard for the largest gathering of people dressed as butterflies. So when the adjudicator says no to you, you're going to go to a table and switch your outfit and go right back in. And we're going to see if we can smash that record in Jackson. So with that, that is as much as an update as I can do. We are 4 minutes over, but it was a fabulous, fabulous Flutterverse update. I thank you all for joining us, especially Don Green and Jessa Carter. And I thank my team in Kenya for showing up and for leading events in Kenya. And the group in Nepal is also doing an event. And oh, and the last thing I want to say, on June 28th, everybody who participated in my book, The Grand Butterfly Gathering, Wings for a Transformed World, is going to have a fabulous book launch experience, and that is the VIP night before the event, and I'm really excited about just welcoming everybody who's flying into Jackson. Thank you all for being here, and until next week, bye. The music, Kainat, let's go. It's